I actually don't know how to even start this video because Donald Trump went off the rails during an Oval Office meeting with the South African president. He played a video that was propaganda. It was a lie. It was not true. And he made the president of South Africa watch it and try to answer for a lie. And then secondly, the right is starting to get really pissed off about Donald Trump's foreign policies. We have Ben Shapiro calling out the inadequacy of what the Trump administration is doing. It's frankly stunning. Let's just get right into this part, because I think this is the most stunning part of the day, where what some people are saying that the president got the full Zelensky treatment. He was ambushed by the president of the United States, and reporters, God, I shouldn't even say that, propagandists were asking the South African president leading questions that were meant to make him look bad. But first, here is this video that Donald Trump played, and I want to just give you some background. This video is falsely claiming that there is a genocide being committed against white people under, quote, the opposite of apartheid is what Donald Trump called it. Here's a bit of that.
Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. But okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa.
We need to find out.
So weird. So weird. So embarrassing. The president of the United States is playing a video that's propaganda. I have a clip here that fact checks what we saw here. But before we get to that, I want to show you what Marco Rubio said. Where is he? There he is. Where's little Marco? All right. What Marco Rubio said about this very same lie. And so someone says here, since there is no genocide against white people in South Africa, let's be clear. Marco Rubio is arguing with Tim Kaine that America has a duty to save white people because they're no longer able to practice white supremacy. Watch this.
But I'm going to ask you, what, so a well-justified fear of persecution?
Yeah, they thought that their farms were being burned down and they would be killed. I think that's a pretty good justification for wanting to come. They're afraid for their lives.
And should it be applied in an even-handed way? That's an easy
No, our foreign policy doesn't require even-handedness. It requires prioritizing the interests of the United States.
The phrase says you are entitled to entrance as a refugee if you demonstrate a well-justified fear of persecution.
No, you're not entitled.
So
you're
can
allowed.
You have a different standard based upon the color of somebody's skin? Would that be acceptable?
Well, I'm not the one arguing that. Apparently you are, because you don't like the fact that they're white, and that's why they're coming.
I'm just asking you to say that would be unacceptable.
Well, no, I would say that the United States...
a very easy thing to say.
The United States has a right...
You got the idea. So he's arguing for this lie, and then here is CNN debunking it.
Because, Larry, you can give us some context on one of the videos that President Trump played in the Oval Office. He was claiming that there was 1,000 roadside graves. Apparently, this is a video that had been of a political statement made by a specific political party in South Africa, but not of actual grave sites, just a political demonstration to highlight violence against farmers.
So it was, what would you even call it? It's a protest. It was a demonstration by people on the right, and it was then shown as a video as if it were real grave sites. They weren't real. And I actually don't know if Donald Trump knew that or not. I don't know. That man's mind is turning to mush. So it could very well be that he thinks that's real. I mean, he truly believed that they were eating the cats, they were eating the dogs. He believed that shit. He is your boomer grandpa on Facebook believing every single AI-generated image he sees. That's the president we've got right now. He also was asked about Air Force One, and he took a big swing at this reporter when they brought up the Qatar connection. But before we see that, I want to show you this moment where the president of South Africa says to Donald Trump, I'm sorry we don't have a aircraft to offer you. And he said, and Trump goes, well, if you did, I'd take it.
We need an Air Force One until that's Air Force One, it's being built. 2 of them being built. But Boeing's a little bit late, unfortunately. So why did they give us a plane to the United States Air Force. That's what that idiot talks about after viewing a thing where thousands of people are dead.
I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you.
I wish you did. I take it. I would take it. If your country offered the United States Air Force a plane, I would take it.
Okay. But coming back.
It's just a transactional presidency. That's as clear as day. It's a transactional presidency. What they were responding to was a reporter asking about the $400 million jet, and then Donald Trump blew up at him because he's unhinged.
What are you talking about? You know, you to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing, they also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment in addition.
5 point. That's not true. That's a lie.
To the jet. Go back. You ought to go back to your studio at NBC, because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network. And you.
By the way, do you notice that Elon Musk is right here, out of the action, no longer sitting down? He is so on the outs. I guarantee you, he is not going to be around for much longer. I mean, he did reportedly quit politics. We'll see about that, but he quit politics. And so this is just another stunning moment that Donald Trump is defending this $400 million gift with the reporter and attacking the press, which I guess we're just so used to by now, but is still outrageous for the president to do in the Oval Office. That reporter is just doing his job. He's doing his job. That is the job of the free press, is to challenge power, and power should be challenged. And from what I understand, that Qatari gift is going to cost us at least $400 million, could be $1 billion, to turn it into Air Force One and have all the security it needs and all the technology it needs. So that $400 million gift isn't free. It actually costs a lot. And I want to end with this because I think this is super important. Ken Martin said this. He is the Democratic Party chair. He says, it's official. Trump is accepting Qatar's luxury jet bribe as he tries to kick Americans off health care and take food from hungry kids. Every American should be outraged. Absolutely. This is exactly how we need to frame this. This is exactly how we need to frame this. That Donald Trump is creating havoc for the lowest income Americans in the country. The House GOP lawmakers are proposing a nearly $1 trillion in cuts to Medicaid and food stamps. Medicaid and food stamps. Here's a little bit of that. House Republicans are pushing to slash nearly $1 trillion from two of the nation's bedrock safety net programs, Medicaid and food stamps, as part of their sweeping package aimed at enacting President Donald Trump's agenda. If the legislation is approved, millions of Americans could lose access to these benefits. And the reason why they're paying for this is to give tax cuts to billionaires. That's the reason why this is happening. Truly. More than 71 million people are enrolled in Medicaid, and roughly 42 million Americans received food stamps. Now, I wish 71 million people in this country weren't in poverty and didn't need Medicaid. Thank God Medicaid is there. I wish we had a country that uplifted folks who are in poverty, but I'm glad at least we have this. But it seems like we are trying to criminalize being poor. The proposals would strip Medicaid coverage from more than 10 million people over 10 years. 10 million people over 10 years, just so Elon Musk can get another $20 billion. For the first time in Medicaid's 60-year history, certain recipients ages 19 to 64 would be required to work at least 80 hours a month to retain their benefits. They could also meet the mandate by engaging in community service, attending school, or participating in a work program. I don't know why we are putting like a work requirement for Medicaid. If you need health insurance, you should just be able to get it. And this creates more red tape for folks to fall through the cracks, that they have to report these hours. And they might not be able to, and they might do it wrong, and then they lose their health insurance. And then more often than not, someone's going to die from all of this. And by the way, kids are one of the largest recipients from SNAP, which is the food assistance program offered by the United States. And it is absolutely disgusting and despicable that Donald Trump is doing this to take money from them. And actually, let me end with this. Ben Shapiro, who is a right-wing thinker, but he's like a MAGA influencer. He sees himself as a big thinker. He's like Bizarro Ezra Klein, maybe. He is attacking the Trump administration over their foreign policy. And we need much more of this. I don't care if you're right, left, or center. If you are attacking Trump, you are on my side for now. We have to build the strongest coalition we can. I don't think Ben Shapiro's going to vote for Democrat, but I hope he keeps speaking truth to power, because it's these little things that can make a big difference.
It should be made clear at this point that Vladimir Putin does not actually want anything like a negotiated peace that sets the lines where they are. He does not want that. Vladimir Putin believes the United States will eventually walk away. And hell, if you were Vladimir Putin, you'd probably believe that too. The United States has, over the course of the last 20 years, walked away from the Kurds, the Afghans, the people of Hong Kong, and now maybe the people of Ukraine. So why wouldn't they? I mean, really, like, that is the game that Vladimir Putin is playing. He's playing the long game here. The United States is going to have to play a similarly long game if we actually wish for Vladimir Putin not to take over the entirety of Ukraine.
I can't believe I agree with Ben Shapiro. What a world. Well, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.